Good morning. This is Vintage Shabby Goodness, and my name is Patty. I'm brought to you something a little bit different than what I've been doing. This kit that I had found on Etsy from Anne with Odessina, and I just thought it was the cutest little thing. So I just thought I'm going to go with it, kind of change things up a little bit. But I just, cut out all these little houses and decorated them. I put them on these, I think they're like a 2-inch ring. And I also made this little tassel to hang on the side. It's got the little teardrop and the snowflakes on there and some fibers. And also this velvet ribbon. But it's just a real small little kit, so it just was a lot of fun, front and back. But here's the first page where I added the door and the 2 windows, and then of course the trim, and I added the little gingerbread man and the presents. And what I did was I kind of raised them to kind of give them the 3D look and everything. So the door is raised, the gift package is raised, the gingerbread man is not. But these windows are raised. Then I added this vintage trim over the top here, the roof line, with this bow. And I did use the Wink of Stella on the bow, so there is some glitter shine to it, and this little pink stone here. So I just thought that turned out pretty cute. And then on the back, I just added this, little flower here and some coffee dyed paper so you'd be able to write on the back of this. But I just thought this paper was so pretty. It, doesn't come with the kit. And so I thought, well, just add this lighter paper so you can journal on the back. And then on this page here, on this little house here, I made a belly band out of some vintage lace and the ephemera that's also included in the kit. So I just put, some gold leaf pin on it, and I put it on the lace, and then I just used this little tiny bulldog clip to kind of hold the card in there, the tag. So, and everything's kind of 3D'd. I raised up this boot a little bit, stocking, added some fiber and a bow. You can journal on the back. And this back here, the back of this belly band, it says a Merry Christmas, and then it's got the story. I don't know if I can get this clip back on there or not with my big old fingers. There we go. Okay, and then on the back, I made this little corner pocket, added some part of a applique, and then I made this tag. It gets kind of crinkled in there with this vintage lace, and I've got the gingerbread man on here along with the stocking. Added a little piece of applique, and then this bow. I just thought it turned out so cute. And you can journal on the back. But this kit really has a lot of cute things in it. So I'm glad I got it. But then on this house, I took the ephemera, the ornament, and I put resin on it and glass glitter glue, or glass glitter. So to help make it sparkle. And I hope you can see that, but they're real nice and shiny and sparkly. And then I took a piece of trim and lined the roof line, added the windows, and I did, stick them up a little bit higher. I cut out these robins or redbirds, and then I put the resin on it. And then this door, I did stamp the wreath on there, and I put the Wink of Stella on this stocking here and raised it up. And on this door, I made it to where it could open, so I put this little piece in here to kind of make it look like a doorknob. And you open it up, and there's a lady in there. It's just looking so pretty. I stamped a couple of holly leaves on there. And then I added these 3 things, and it says, "Joy lives here." I just thought it felt appropriate. But that's that. And I did add on these 2 pages some paper to kind of break it up a little bit. So between the front house and the back house. But here I added the gingerbread man and this little saying, "Comfort and joy." I did put some cheesecloth behind him. Put this vintage lace behind him, along with this bow that I did use the resin on, and then just a cream colored ribbon. Actually, I didn't put a backer on this piece. This is just the paper. So, and this is rice paper. That's what that is. Then on this one, you know, it's just the ephemera here that I added between the windows. Everything's just glued down flat here. The present candy cane and some trim here. And this, I did add the rice paper between the 2, the front and the back. And I just let this alone so you could write on there. And then the ephemera again, and I did put some gold leaf, used a gold leaf pin on this ornament, and I did raise it up along with this ornament and leaves and like that to give it the 3D effect. And same with these ornaments, and just glued this door on flat. I added this pine cone back behind the door, and I put this like rock glitter. I think it looks like little gold nuggets, but yeah, I put that on the pine cone there. It turned out kind of cute. And then on the back here, I just added I made a bow, added this from a piece of ephemera, or applique, I guess. And then there's some vintage lace underneath. And then down here you have the ornaments that's included in the kit. And there's a candy cane. I made a pocket or tuck spot, whatever you want to call it, out of the ephemera page. And you have a camera, and you have a candy cane. I guess just as cute as can be. Then over here, these houses are just so cute. I really had fun. Of course, I added a bow. I added just some fibers behind the bow. Add this pretty green trim up here along the roof line. And then I just used some pretty lace that is from Crafty Me Shop. Made a pocket out of it and added a camera and the gingerbread man. Well, he got in there sideways, and now, there we go. Put them back in there like so. And then on the back is I just added this backer, just left it alone so you could write on it. But I did put lace in between these 2. And I have to use pieces of this lace in just about everything I make because it is my very favorite. I did get this with Lavish Laces, and her name is Giselle. but it's just gorgeous, and I'm hoarding it. So I'm just using little pieces here and there. So then on this one, the striped house, what I did is I printed it again and cut out the lamp here and put it on top of the lamp that's there to give it the 3D look, and tried to twist some garland like what I used here on the roof around the lamp. It turned out pretty good, I think. So then I added red bow with the 2 ephemera Christmas bulbs, and I added this twinkle and cheer with some cheesecloth, and then some vintage lace back behind here, and another little vintage lace along the roof line, which I thought made it really cute. And then on the backer, I just made like a side pocket out of this applique here. And here's the trim on the back side. Then I added this gingerbread man and a boot. And you could also journal on this here. And this I just basically left it alone, other than just adding some lace on the side. I did sew around it, and I just thought it was pretty by itself and gave you a little more journaling room on here. And then I decorated the back all up with, I made a pocket out of this dangle trim here. It's just a little small pocket that I added the rocking horse and the camera. They just tuck right back in there. And then I added this applique that came off an old wedding dress up here at the top. And then over here, you can tell that it's just a little bit different from this one here, the placement of the bulbs. But I used this for the front, added this applique up here, and a little piece of ephemera down here with some trim. Added some trim up here along the roof line. And I just added a bow to the back side. I think that's pretty, just like that. And then on this side, this house, I just added an applique and a gingerbread girl. And I 3D'd it, put some lift tape underneath. Then I added this vintage trim along the edge. And then I just had another piece of that applique, so I put it down here at the bottom and just kept it loose in the middle to make a pocket. So I added that boot in there. And then I made this flower. Put it up here. I probably shouldn't have done that because it did make it stick out. It's not flat. But I like bulky. And I just thought it went well with that, with this paper. And I just thought it was pretty, so I added it. And I did sew around the edges of this one also. And then on this side, I added some lace here, a little poinsettia. And then I cut out a piece of applique and made a little tuck spot. Added the boot. Well, maybe. And the gingerbread man. There you go. Then on the back side, I did add this trim here and just left it alone. I think the gift boxes are just as cute as can be. So there's plenty of room to journal on this. And then this little guy here, isn't he cute? What I did is I kind of cut around him here along the edge to add the gingerbread man and the little bear. So I folded his hand up a little bit to make it look like he was waving so it wouldn't cover this little guy's eye. And I put a star up here, and I did do some embossing. Used embossing powder in my heat gun to make the star sparkle. And then I used this velvet rickrack for the trim along the roof. And I added a flower, and then this silver, it's tinsel type stuff. Did add it around the roof line, and I did use some gold leaf pin around the edge of the card. Then on the back side, I made a pocket. Used some of that gold leaf, added trim. Added this little pocket here with that little mouse on it. I'm not crazy about mice, but isn't she a doll? I love it when you can make them look so cute. Then I added some trim up here along the roof line, and then you can journal on the back, and you could even journal on here. And then here, I added just I kind of roughened up the paper, took my scissors and rubbed the edges, and I put some gold leaf around it, along with, I've kind of vintaged it with my blendy tool and some ink. And I added a piece of lace and some trim down here at the bottom, and this ruffle at the bottom. And so I made my gingerbread man and the rocking horse 3D. I really got into the 3D on this one, on this kit. And then I added a piece of vintage lace and added this piece on earth. Then up here I made a bow out of the fiber, and added a couple of trims up here at the roof line. And I just left that blank, and you could just journal on that there. And then the last page, I took this heart applique, put it on there, and made a pocket out of it. So I resined this Christmas ornament up, just in spots, the bow, and then the sparkles that's on the ball itself. I put little bits of resin on it. And then this boot here, that's got the flowers in it. And I just added some red dots for the holly because, I wanted to be sure you could see it. Isn't that paper pretty? And then just slide it right back in there. And then on the back, I just left it plain, so you could journal on it. But that's it. That's the kit, and it's just adorable. So I will have this up for sale, and I will note it in the description area down below. And I will add my email address if you're interested in purchasing it, and the price. So that's all I got. So I just think it's adorable, and I had so much fun making it, and I hope you all like it too. So until next time, I'll see you again. Bye.